Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Central European Championships 2021 Round 2 Lead Card FBO Division. My name is Stanislaus Amann and next to me it's Tomasz Walik.
Hi.
First in the group is Sofie Brečko after a hot round. Katka Bodova also in the card from Slovakia. Danica Bajtak, Croatian player, and Eliška Bartkova from Czech Republic.
So after round 1, Sofie is leading the pack, but on behind second place, the scores are pretty stacked. So we'll see how the second round plays out. On hole 1, the ladies will probably play for a par, trying to get in 2 shots to the window and then approach to the basket.
Yes, it's a pretty tough hole, I would assume, for ladies division, for FBO division, because the tee shot is just incredibly long. It's about 135 meters to the perfect landing zone. I don't expect any of these ladies to have that kind of distance.
They just want to get as far as possible and then have get 2 good approaches.
Yeah, exactly. You could well see Sofie trying to put it to the right side just to have a little bit more of an open shot with her next shot. Katka just playing a lefty hyzer. Danica Bajtak from Croatia.
Having also a great drive. She's throwing her mantis, but it was close to OB, but it's safe. You have a lot of space on the right.
But still, yeah, I feel it's a smart play to put it out to the right. I mean, there is some OB because there's hole 18. But still, yeah, they all have pretty good angles, pretty good chances for their par. Let's see what they do on their second shots.
Yeah, this is still like 60 meters to the window.
At least, I would say. Approaching it straight. Yeah.
She'll have a look.
Yeah.
Have a look.
I think it's a tricky look, but it's a look. Yeah, here's Sofie, the only participant in FBO division of Austria.
And she's leading the division.
Yeah, I think that was pretty surprising for, at least for me and also for herself most likely, because I assume she had pretty low expectations for that tournament. But just like that, after first round, she's in the lead.
And she threw an amazing approach to the, like, not to the window, but even inside. So she'll have a short par look.
Yeah,
like,
that's
look for par.
That's nice. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Also with Eliška approaching to the window, just as we said.
Everyone should have a chance for their par.
This is probably the trickiest shot of the hole. You wanna go straight, not go to the left. I think the right side is okay, and you wanna miss the 1 tree in the middle.
Exactly. This one tree.
And I spoke too soon.
Yeah, the one tree Katka just hit. That's pretty much a perfect indicator of where the circle starts. It's 10 meters short of the basket, and if you pass this tree, then you know you have a pretty manageable putt for your whatever number you're gonna take. And here we see how Tomasz mentioned Sofie already in the gap with a pretty easy up and down for her par. She is pretty much parked, so that's the start. She's most likely looking for being already in the lead.
Danica with her par putt, leaving it close. I don't know if this was a layup or a try. There's a lot of pressure on these ladies. They are playing on camera probably for the first time, some of them. Sofie and Eliška at least.
I think Danica as well.
I saw Danica on Disc Golf Guys coverage from Varaždin, I think, or Drava Forester. And the camera pressure I was talking to Eliška was there.
Okay, that's
she spoke to me about
interesting to hear. That might be also something we might come back later. Here we have hole number 2, also pretty challenging hole, especially for FBO division. 95 meters, slightly right turning. Ideal shot should be forehand. Not sure if anyone has this forehand power, but Katka is the lefty, so she should have slight advantage on this hole. As we see,
we see Sofie kick into the forest. Yeah, I don't think that's far enough, so she'll probably have to just pitch out.
Yeah, I think She will have pretty tough
Katka
par.
had a nice shot, just too low. If it was just a bit higher, I think she would skip and would have a look, but this will be probably an approach for par.
Most likely, yeah. But that's the thing about this course in general. It's playing pretty hard for FPO division. So the holes have all some pretty long distance. The gaps are tight, and to have a birdie is something special in FPO division. There weren't too many birdies in round number 1, and I don't expect this to change in the second round. So for FPO division, it's most likely going for as many pars as possible and to avoid big numbers.
Yep, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like 95 meters to the right is a pretty long distance for the ladies.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of them are 95 meters is pretty much max distance for all of them. So then
I
to
think
still
they
have
can throw it, but
yeah, but then to still manage to have this right turning curve on the drive, it's a tough shot for sure.
As we see, then it's an approach under the basket.
Yeah, we have some pretty good looks for the pass.
Katka is close. Is this birdie?
Yeah, she might definitely, might have tried to ring it up from distance. She's using a dart on this kind of shots, correct?
Eliška just too high for her par putt. She has to probably settle with a bogey. And this is just we are beginning the second round. Though Sophie has a lead, but on this course, bogeys come as easily as something.
Yeah. Second round is definitely, there were some nerves in play. At least for me, I was also playing in Lead Jet MPO division, and I'm usually not that nervy of a person, but still, I could feel the pressure. I mean, it's the Central European Championships. It's the biggest stage of disc golf we have here in Central Europe, and it's a pretty special title. So I assume here the Lead Jet. I mean, Sophie, she looked really relaxed there, but yes. I assume the nerves are there.
Yes, we head to the hole number 3, par 3, 80 meters. This is a reachable hole for the ladies.
Definitely.
It's a tunnel shot, danger on the right, danger on the left, and maybe just 3 meters behind the basket is also a bush, so you wanna be shorter and straight. We had a little backup on here with the chase card. It was still on the tee pad, which was surprising that we had a backup on hole 2, but on the rest of the course we weren't waiting at all.
Okay.
Which was surprising, as Katka threw a beautiful shot to the basket, but Eliška kicks a tree off the fairway.
So this is, the ladies have been the latest tee time on the day, if I'm not mistaken. I think MPO division started earlier. So when did they start actually? Was it like 1:30 or something?
Yeah,
around
it was
that?
1:30.
So this is pretty much again the afternoon heat they're experiencing now. Yeah, but
yeah, it wasn't easy. The hands were sweaty. You really felt the heat.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see.
Eliška hits first tree. She said to me that there was a gap, and she really believed she could hit her. She could hit the gap. That she hit even smaller gaps, but it didn't work out this time. So she had to pitch out her third shot. Now is throwing her fourth. I made a mistake on the last hole. She was putting for birdie. The long loop was for birdie, not for par.
Okay, sorry, I didn't watch this course either. So. Okay, so this looks like a double bogey for Eliška. I mean, that's what you mentioned in the preview of this hole. It's a pretty hard hole when you mess up your drive. The bushes, especially on the left, are pretty thick. So here we have Katka with a birdie putt and almost rings it up. Pretty good effort.
Too much to the left and it chained out.
Yeah.
Denza with a close look.
Is this also for birdie? Oh, so close.
It was so close, but you could see she really had to change her putt because the limbs were in her reach back. So yeah, that's a shame. But it's pretty a par nevertheless.
Yeah. I'm seeing in the stats there wasn't a birdie in FPO division on this hole on that particular day, but I'm sure they will change it on the last round. So hole number 4 is par 4, 145 meters and pretty sharp dogleg after about 80 meters to the left, and then it's basically pretty much 2 perfectly straight shots. If you throw your first shot 80 meters straight, then you might be left with pretty much the same shot again. It's all about placement. So Katja came up a little short and she might not have much more than a pitch up from there.
She had a beautiful straight shot, yeah, but she won't probably have a look to the basket. As Sophie does. Sophie is in the perfect spot.
Yeah, she had a great drive here. What do you personally think about holes like that, with that kind of specific landing zone?
They make it way more interesting to play. You don't have to bomb, you have to accurately throw the distances, have feel for the distance, and I think that those are great holes.
Yeah, sure. The only thing I sometimes see a little bit critical is that if you just have a slightly off shot on your drive, you might have just jump out on your second shot, which is sometimes a little bit unfortunate on par 4, but I mean, on the same hand, it's your own fault just not throwing the shot you were supposed to on the drive.
Yeah, correct.
It's a pretty rewarding design, especially for the accurate thrower, I would say.
I wouldn't want to have that on every hole.
Yeah.
But here and there, I think that's a great style for the hole.
Definitely.
Eliška is approaching her second shot for a birdie.
Looks pretty nice to me.
She'll have a look.
Yeah.
That's around 9 to 10 meters.
Yeah, you can see there's a double tree row on the left hand side of the fairway, and it's pretty common to end up in there. I mean, I've seen many shots end up in there, but there's always some kind of putt, but it's never easy. Danica with a pretty nice approach. I think that was her third.
Yeah, it was her third.
And
she
here
had to pitch up. She had to jump on her second.
And here we have Sophie with her second shot, standstill mid-range.
And
pretty nicely thrown.
Inside the circle, she'll have a look again.
Nice.
For the birdie. Katka is scrambling for her par and is doing a great job.
Yeah, she is showing some really good technicality on this shot. Really flip up right the hyzer with an understable disc. That's a shot that is not easy at all, I would say.
Nice.
Oh, and this putt by Eliška. Great putt to get a birdie after a double bogey.
No way, outside circle was it, huh?
Yeah, I think it was like 10-11.
Yeah, with a straddle.
Amazing. Great played hole by Eliška. Danica to save her par.
Nice.
And she does so.
Really good putt by her as well.
So they're tied now with Eliška at plus 18.
We have a battle for third going on at the moment,
And
while
Sophie
we are
with
seeing
another birdie.
Sophie with the second birdie on the card. And at the same time, this was the second birdie on the day on this hole. Only 2 birdies for FPO division, but there was couple of pars. Still, I'm playing as one of the easier holes on the course for FPO divisions for sure.
Hole number 5 will be also playing for par for the ladies. It's a long first shot where you want to get out on the field, then pitch up to an opening and a third shot to the basket. Yeah, you'll need, like Sophie shows us, that's a wonderful shot. You need a left turning shot on the first shot.
Yeah,
and then get to the basket. And
yeah.
Eliška leaves it just a bit left, and she ended up in the trees, and she'll have a hard second shot.
Yeah, she will need to scramble for her par. It's gonna be a hard par for sure. I would assume this hole is basically playing like a par 5 for ladies division. I mean, it's 220 meters. There's some uphill at the end. It's a really tight gap. I'm really interested
Katka threw an amazing shot, like trusting her disc. She threw a strike, I believe, to the right side and let it hold left. She'll be in a great spot as well as Danica.
That's nice, yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Katka Bodyova. to those who don't know her already, she is one of the best Central European female players of all time. She has participated in many international events. She even has participated in the what's the name of the
World Champ.
Sorry?
In what?
The game where Europe plays against America.
Oh, in the President's Cup.
In President's Cup, exactly. And she has established a rating above 900 for a really long time already. So you can really see that on her playing styles. She has this really special abilities on technicality.
As you jinxed it, and she went to the bushes, unfortunately, on her second.
Yeah,
But she showed
been
it.
talking too much a little bit.
She'll show that to us later in the round.
Yeah, here we have done it, putting it perfectly in the middle of the mouth. Eliška already throwing her third, I would assume.
Yep, that's her third.
Do you know what disc it is?
This one, if that was putter, that's a stud.
Okay, I know she really likes to throw Valkyries on her drives, start on her putters.
She can throw those Valkyries really far.
Yeah,
and straight.
Nice. Yeah, she is sponsored by Innova Discs. First year. I think that's a pretty nice thing, especially for European players. There's only another Czech player sponsored by Innova, so congrats to her for that accomplishment. And yeah, she is the reigning Czech champion, Eliška, isn't she?
Yep, she is. She's I believe, a 3-time Czech champion in FPO division, and she'll battle this year as well
for another defending title. Yeah, Danica Patak also won the national championships of Croatia many times. I'm not sure about the exact number, but I'm sure it's at least 3 or 4 times.
As Eliška almost rings this approach from down where she was throwing. It looked really promising to get to the basket.
That's nice.
She'll have a great tap in.
Yeah, and the lady's making sure to throw over those. You can see there's some crosses with sticks in the ground. Those have been wasp nests. There were some wasps in the ground, so all players needed to be really careful on this hole. Were there any issues on this card?
No.
On this particular hole?
On this hole, no.
No problem. So I've heard about.
Ladies played the hole well and not ended it on the crosses.
Yeah, that's great. I've heard about one guy in MPO that was stung by a wasp. I'm not sure if it was on this hole. But anyway, Sophie with a really great putt for her par. Bogey.
It was a bogey.
Okay, I missed the shot. Bogey for Danica. As I mentioned, this is basically playing like a par 5. It's even for MPO division, there were not that many birdies on this hole.
And even though Eliška shanked her first drive to the left, she'll end up with the same score as other ladies. Because she played the rest of the hole well. It's the thing about par 4s.
Yeah. Here we have it, hole number 6, third par 4 in a row actually, and 178 meters long. There's a lot of OB, especially on the left hand side, but there's also 2 OB bunkers in the middle of the fairway, so ladies need to make sure to not throw in there. I would assume most of them are laying up short of the first OB bunker. Let's see.
Where Sophie ends up. Yeah, and she ends up in the bunker, unfortunately.
Okay, but she meant to go over it. That's pretty ambitious.
She meant to go over?
Looks like, I mean, that was really committed strokes.
Eliška is throwing her MD, so she's probably laying up in front of the lake, then getting to the flowery field, and then to the basket. That's like the perfect plan to play this hole.
Basically a play for par, yeah. That's most likely your choice. The course designer, with this bunkers he put it in, these OB lakes, the course designer really makes your choice what you want to do on your drive. You can't just mesh out something without thinking. You really need to think about the tactic you want to
yep, definitely.
use on this
and
hole.
Even in MPO you have to choose whether you want to go far or you want to go shorter.
Definitely. There's a lot of danger waiting on this hole.
Second shot.
Is it
It's a putter.
A putter this time?
She approaches it to a great spot. She'll have a look to the basket, even with a backhand. The thing on the approach is throwing a backhand hyzer is really hard because the basket is stuck to the right, and you can't really fade to it. So you either had to throw a forehand or a turnover. As a right-handed player, Katka will have a different plan. As she gets out of the forest, she'll be short, but with her distance, she probably can get to the basket.
Yeah, I would also assume this hole is kind of giving the lefty an advantage.
This hole.
Yeah.
I don't think the course, but this hole maybe does. Sophie looked like she wanted to go for the basket, but left it short. As I said, Katka approaches to like 4 meters.
Yeah, it's generally gonna be pretty interesting how Sophie proceeds in the rest of the tournament. I mean, she's sitting on a pretty comfortable lead at the moment, but that's for sure something she didn't expect, and I'm not sure if she already has the experience to hold it down. She looks pretty relaxed to me, but you never know what's going on inside.
She just went OB and Katka is under the basket, so there will be some changes.
And this is also still a challenging putt for bogey.
Yep, that's 9 to 10 meters. Oh, and sheer bottom. There may be the pressure coming up, because she played the first couple of holes. She plays really fast. That's what we should mention. She plays really fast. She steps up to the disc and throws it. And the first few holes she played them really simple, but ended up with a par and went ahead. So now it's like a first hiccup for Sophie. But I'm sure she'll get over it on the very next hole.
Sure, that's all part of the challenge, you know. I mean, every one of you listening to us might have experienced something similar. The first time you're maybe playing one card higher than usual or something, there's always some special pressure, and you need to find some ways how to handle it. And it's gonna be really fun to see how Sophie will do it the following holes. I mean, this was a triple bogey now for her, so that's definitely a friendly hello of the course. Let's see if she can things turn around right away.
We saw a perfect par from Eliška, now
well played
from Katka as well. And Danica will, after this putt,
that's good focus
for a bogey.
She is in for a bogey as we approach hole number 7.
This is a par 3. It's 125 meters, and for the FPO division, it's playing as a 2-shot hole. The island is really hard to get to, even for MPO players, and they are playing a shot of their choice. For all of these women, it will be a backhand hyzer. They just want to place in the middle of the fairway, as close to the OB line, and then have an approach to the basket.
Well, there's a lot of danger waiting on this hole. There's a raised basket, and there's a really interesting rule with the island green. You really need to establish a lie on the island, otherwise you go back all the way to the OB line on the fairway. So you really need to make sure to hit the island on your second shot, otherwise you will get a lot of strokes added to your scorecard. Here we have Sophie also with mid-range hyzer.
All of them are safe, landed safe, and now let's see their approaches. Because as you said, the trouble comes on the second shot, where you need to land on the island and as close to the basket, because the elevated basket brings another challenge.
Yeah, there's actually a pretty surprising statistic from herself. At least for me it's surprising. This hole played together with hole 14 as the easiest hole in FPO division on the day. Really? Averaging only 0.47 over par. Even it's less than half a stroke over par averaging. Even though in MPO division this is one of the hardest holes. Really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be because the ladies are playing for par. So if they do their playing right, they'll end up with a par, which half of the field does, as we can see from the statistics. There aren't any double bogeys.
No,
there's
no
just bogeys.
double bogey for the day.
If they throw it too far from the basket, they probably lay up. Maybe they can run it. We'll see if Katka runs it.
I mean, I assume.
Oh, Katka is just too low.
Yeah,
it's
in
unfortunate.
MPO division, the raised baskets might cause a lot of 3-putts. So there haven't been a lot of 3-putts in the FPO division on the day. Maybe they just approach the basket a little bit less aggressive than the MPO division and with a little bit more thinking.
But that was some aggression from Danica, but she clears it and she goes away with a par.
Great par. But almost half of the field in FPO division had a par here, like Eliška.
So even with a par, with these great shots, you're not taking that much strokes, right? You're not
gaining any strokes on the leaders. I mean, you're not doing anything wrong, but still not too much movement in on the leaderboard in FPO division.
It evens it out, and I mean, par on this course is great on every hole.
Definitely, yeah. I think everyone is happy with the scores here. Maybe Katja would have liked to have a par as well. As we come to hole number 8, which is a par for 165 meters. Totally straight tunnel, pretty narrow, and at the end the basket is turning to the right just slightly. I would assume this is one of the most challenging holes on the course for FPO division. They are averaging more than 1.5 strokes over par.
Eliška throws a perfect shot with her putter, just in the middle of the fairway. She'll have a clear second shot to get down, and then a third shot.
It's a pretty smart play to go with putter or mid-range with the lower speed on your drive, just to make sure to throw it straight, to be in position. You're not gaining that much with going big here.
You need to throw something that you know will end up straight and in the fairway.
And if you make the decision to go big, you really need to trust to it. And it's hard to trust on that tight on the gap, I would say. Katja turns it slightly over. She still will have a shot to proceed on her second shot.
And still got really far through all of the branches. Sophie throws her second. She got some limps on the right and fell down, so she'll throw from the right side of the fairway.
Still managed to proceed on her shot. Yeah, I feel to have some distance on each of your shots is really important to do on those kind of holes.
Yeah, I agree.
So all of those ladies having pretty nice far-flying shots, which is a good thing.
Katka needs to throw like a turnover, throws it to the ground, but it slides nicely.
Perfectly placed in the fairway.
And she'll have a third shot, which is the important thing. She'll have a look for par.
Yeah, and par on this hole is definitely gaining your strokes on the field. I mean, there were only a few pars on the whole round, so yeah, she might be able to make a push on the leader.
Eliška threw too much to the right and got lucky through the branches and fell back into the fairway. She wasn't really happy with that shot, but it's what it is. It's there, and we can see her now approaching to the basket again with a putter. She throws a stud.
Yeah, she's really good on those putter shots, isn't she?
It's turning, going through trees and landing by
perfectly played. Really nice shot there. She really likes to do those standstill shots, to focus on like hitting the line, play it smooth. And she also, Eliška, brings some really good focus to the course, I feel. She looks really focused, concentrated.
Yeah, she has her poker face, and even when things go bad, she smiles.
I think that's really good attitude. I mean,
she's the last one you'll see like clapping in anger.
Okay, yeah, cool to hear. Danica out of the woods. Let's see if she can put it close to the basket.
Yeah, nice.
Pretty nice hyzer.
That was a really great scramble shot for her.
Sophie with a really lengthy putt. Let's see if she gives it a run.
Is it just a bit short? Maybe it was a layup, you know.
Who knows?
But Katka here has a look for her par.
That's, I would assume, at least outside circle, like 15 meters, maybe even more.
Hits the
yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, it's the top band, and but at least she'll be close for her bogey putt.
Here we have Eliška putting for par. And this is only one of 2 pars of the day in FPO
Really?
division. So congrats, taking some strokes on the field. Getting pretty close to second place.
Yeah, the leader is still far, now closer, but the second place is really reachable for Eliška.
Danica with also bogey, which is not bad at all. I mean, I would assume this hole basically a par 5 for women's division. Yeah, well played.
We go to hole 9. Hole 9 is a par 5 and is playing one of the hardest holes on the course. It's averaging 2.4 strokes over par, so really difficult. And what you need are 4 great placement shots to get par.
Yeah, if
You need to go in the middle of these trees, as Eliška does. She throws a huge shot and will be just a bit long, out of position.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Just 1 meter to the right can end your chances of having a nice shot on the next one. So you really need to put it in the perfect spot, otherwise you just might end up with a pitch out.
Danica threw great in the middle of those trees. You really want to miss those branches and get as far as possible in the middle, like Sophie does here.
Nice shot.
I said it already, she plays the game so simple and beautiful.
Yeah, she is a former Ultimate player. She's really good on those just straight shots. Uses a lot of mid-ranges where others might use a driver. Just play it simple, play it straight, take it easy, enjoy the game. It seems like an approach that's working pretty well for her.
We see Katka with her second shot, turning it over, and there's the danger. She'll end up in the woods and we'll have to choose either to pitch up to the fairway or try to go through the woods and proceed through the hole.
Yeah, you really need to make sure what decision you take, because yeah, it might have some consequences if you take the risk.
Danica played smart with an approach, and Sophie throws a mid-range again. A beautiful straight shot, and she'll be in the perfect position.
She's
for
in position
her
there.
third.
Yeah,
so she really is battling now for a par or even a birdie, long birdie look.
I mean, a par would be great, as the whole average is 2.4 in the whole division. That's 2.5 strokes on the field. This one, by the way, the hardest hole on the field.
Eliška had to pitch out, as we said, and now is throwing her I believe it's a boss, Blizzard boss, a huge skip shot that will leave her, unfortunately, under a branch. So she'll have a really hard shot for the next one, but still a great distance gained on the stroke.
Yeah, still, that was a pretty aggressive play, I would say, going with the skip around the corner there. You can definitely save some distance on your upshot with that kind of play. Not seen that many women take the skip on this hole. Katka with a pretty tough scramble, it looks like. Does she have anything there?
She needs to go through, it's like 2 meters at max, a tunnel, and she throws it just high enough to go over the branch, and she'll be on the fairway.
That's a nice outshot.
Here's Sophie with a open look.
Is she going mid-range again, or is
straight.
that some kind of fairway driver?
Throws it a little too high and hits a branch, unfortunately.
Yeah, she should have maybe taken a note out of the book of Eli. Going with the skip shot there on the branch, who knows? I mean, the branches are hanging low. At least their approach to the basket, the skip shot might be a smart choice again. Katja, yeah, she was trying to do the hyzer flip turnover, just a little strong on the hyzer release, still pretty close to the basket, should be easy up and down, if not a look.
Should be like 15 meters from the basket. The right is open, there are no trees, so...
Not too much danger. Here we see Eli trying to figure out how to stand here under this branch, or better to say in the branch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if there's something living on the course, some living parts of any kind of plants or trees, you're not allowed to move it, so you just need to deal with the situation how it is. And this was a pretty nice shot regarding that she almost standed between a tree.
Sophie has a here look for a par. I can approach for a par. She throws a great shot but hits the last guardian tree, the only tree that is in the way, and she'll have a long look.
Yeah, this big tree, I would say it's at least 15 meters from the basket or something. It's a pretty tough upshot because the branches are so low you almost need to do a little slide on your upshot in order to reach the basket after this tree. As Katja approaches pretty nicely with her dart.
Eliška, will she run it? Yeah, it looks like she gave it some run, but ended up short.
That should be easy up and down.
Yeah,
same for Sophie, just pitching up.
Well.
Yeah, we didn't have a single par on the day on this hole, so a bogey is just fine for FPO division. As we see, Danica just skipping on the band. Comeback putt
for a bogey.
Just missing it again. There's maybe some nerves going on. I mean, it's really hot. There's some people you can see, some people watching in the background. It's always kind of an uncomfortable situation if there's some people doing those noises like ooh, ah, no way, or something. That's never feeling good, I can tell you that.
Yeah, but this car was really quiet in this situation. They weren't
okay.
doing this.
Okay, thank God.
And so taking her time.
And this time she connects for double bogey.
And the rest of the ladies will clean up their bogeys. They're like close to the basket. So Sophie should.
Sophie with a 6. Katja also putting for 6.
And that closes up the front 9 for the FPO lead card in round 1 at the Central European Disc Golf Championships. Here we have a look at the scoreboard.
Yes, we see Sophie is still in the lead. Not too much movement on the leaderboard, but Eli is coming pretty close to second place, only 1 stroke back. It's gonna be an exciting battle. Make sure to tune in for the back 9. And thanks to PDGA Europe, thanks to Dani Hadvani, the tournament director, thanks to Pro Disc Golf for sponsoring this coverage. Like and subscribe, and see you on the back 9.
Atolita.
Atolita.